Okay, now let's look into a demo. Here I'm already in the console of Alibaba Cloud. If you go to the left panel, you find the container service. And you can see from the portal there are two kind of container service. You can choose, either you can choose Kubernetes or you can choose Swarm. And today's demo will focus on the Kubernetes cluster. How can we use the Kubernetes cluster to implement the blue and green deployment? Now you see there's already one cluster running there. To save the demo time, I skip the creation process. But if you want to create, just click here and it will bring you directly to the creation menu. For the creation, you can just select any of the names you want and choose the region you want to put your cluster in. It's just like very similar like create a ECS or some other resource. Just pick up all the needed configuration. Then you can just click. Now I already have the cluster there. We can go to the nodes. See, there are 4 nodes actually in this cluster. 3 are the master nodes and 1 is the worker nodes. And starting to do the blue and green deployment, we should start from the deployment here. And I will create the deployment by the template. Just give it a meaningful name. We can call them Clouder. And application we will use Nginx. And to make sure we can have a valid web service, I record some image here. I change the replication number to 4 and also the image location here. Okay, now we have all the needed configuration set up. So I will just deploy the deployment. And it said it's a deployment successfully. So I will go to the dashboard. Here, sorry. So now in Nginx, we can click details. So now we have the pod is trying to be bring up. Let's refresh. But we don't have a service now. So what we need to do is we need to go here. Actually go service. There's no there's only one default service there. We will use the deployment again and create by template. But this time you need to change the type to service. We can just name it as my service, and for others it's good, and we can change the type to load balancer. And they will use automatically use the load balancing for all your pods, and we can create a deploy. I'm mapping the line, okay. Dashboard. Now we are here in the dashboard. So since we already created one service, all the information including the pods and the service is here, and then you can see there's one, we call them the external endpoint, right? So this one should be the place that you already have the Nginx web service deployed. So when you go here, you can definitely see the web page. And what we need to do now is to create another deployment, the green deployment. Again, we create from the template and we use deployment. But this time, and we said the name, we should call them differently. We call them Clouder, maybe Clouder 2. And here is the difference that you need to make sure that all the labels in this deployment, we should match it to Nginx 2, and we name it Nginx 2. And also, what we need to do is we tell this time we need to deploy another image, right? So we change it here, and version 2. We can deploy it. Okay, then we can go to there. So you see now we have actually more deployment here, and you can see there's 2 replication sets already set up. We have Nginx and Nginx 2. Now we are going to show how to do the bring and glue deployment switch. The way we do this is very simple because we already have one service created, right? What we need to do is to just go here and click here. What we can see is all the detailed information about the service. And we just said we already have the service created, right? The service including some of the access point and also the namespace and the label. This one is really important. And when we want to switch the service, we need to point the application to another application. So here what we need to do is go back to the cluster, and we go to the dashboard. And we found the service here. Okay. What we need to do is go here and do the view and edit YAML. The key point is like this one. We already have the selector called app Nginx, and now we change it to Nginx 2. And we do the update, right? If we go to the endpoint again, you will see if you do a refresh, that now the same endpoint, they already switch to the green deployment. So it shows the LabX -v2. So here is a demo about how to use a cluster to actually do the blue and green deployment. And by switching the application pointer, you can switch very easily between these 2 deployments, so that you can really implement the blue and the green deployment. Thank you for watching.